How are we getting on, everyone? It's Ed from Sprogley Motorsport, back with another video. I say another video. The last video was probably about 7 or 8 months ago. I think I did a walk around of the Mk7 Golf at the time, just showing a few bits off. I want to do something different this year. A few years ago, we started to give YouTube a little bit of a go, and I really enjoyed it. For me, it's just filming random stuff that we get up to and making cool videos. There's nothing really more else to it, and especially with the way Sprogley's going at the minute, we've got so much cool stuff to film. It's a real waste not doing it. There's a few reasons why I haven't done any more YouTube stuff since what we did a few years ago. Part of it is to do with me and being self-conscious, and the other bit is to do with not having the right equipment at the time to like edit videos efficiently. We're still using the same GoPro as we did a couple of years ago, but the difference now is I've got a Mac laptop, so it makes it a lot easier to edit videos. So yeah, the goal of this year is to film stuff, make some videos of what we're doing. There's tons of cool shit to video. It's not like we're going to be short of stuff to film. We've got the Mk8 Golf, we've got the Mk7 Golf, we've got the 106, we've got the Astra, we've got mates' cars, we've got shows, we've got so much stuff, so it'd be a shame not to, really. So that's the plan of action for this year. You might notice someone walking around. It's my assistant. Just to introduce Connie is my sister, and she joined Sprogley Motorsport in September?
Yeah, August.
To help run Sprogley, because happily Sprogley's going in the right direction, and I had way more work on than I could physically do. So Connie got involved, and I've been relegated to workshop engineer, and Connie's now the boss. It'll be cool, because the plan of action is me and Con are just gonna film some cool videos for you guys, and
sure,
hopefully you like it. I mean, it's gonna be scuff ain't even the word. There is not gonna be any professional editing, there's not gonna be any like fancy cinematography or anything like that. It's just gonna be us trying to make some cool videos, and hopefully as each video goes on we get less awkward in front of the camera and everything flows a bit more naturally. And yeah, that's about it really. I'm probably gonna sit at my laptop editing this video later on, just sat there picking out flaws in it, but we both agreed that if we don't just make a start on doing this,
it's never gonna happen.
It's never gonna happen.
No.
You know, just gotta get on with it and just learn to improve instead of trying to expect ourselves to be as good as we can in front of a camera straight off the bat. Because it's a really unnatural feeling sitting in front of a camera. Like both
it's really
me and
awkward. It's like an interview.
Well, no, exactly.
So much pressure.
We can both talk the back legs off a donkey, but you put a camera in front of us, and then it's like, oh, what do you say? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you go.
So that's, sorry, it's a bit of a boring intro, but I just wanted to sort of set the scene, so to speak, of what 2023 has to hold, and we'll go from there. Now, to the video of today.
To the fun part. To
the good bit of today. We've got some bits to put on a car, which you'll be pleased to hear. Today, the car getting the goodies is Connie's car, which we'll introduce properly in a minute. But just to show you what we've got here, we've got a couple of spicy little bits to put on Connie's car today. We have
16mm spacers.
We've got some Forge wheel spacers.
And 11, I think.
Yeah, 16mm for the back, 11mm for the front, after a bit of experimenting. Longer wheel bolts to suit. And we've got a Maxton little diffuser extension.
Just ordered new exhaust as well.
What we got?
We've got a Scorpion resonated
catback
system
and
with a Scary tips, which looks...
If you wanted one of those for your Golf, where would you go to buy it?
On Sprogley.
Of course. So yeah, that's another thing to mention is other than the Maxton, pretty much all the parts you'll see us use, or for the most part, we actually supply. We'll get onto that in another video, but I think I touched on it in the video where I did the walk around of the Mk8. We have a Mk7 and we have a Mk8, and we sell products for both cars, but we only sell stuff that we've either got on our own cars or have good hands-on experience with. I hate the idea of just selling any old stuff that you can get your hands on. There's plenty of places out there that do that. This isn't one of them.
But also another thing I would say is really worth it. If you can't find it on the website, just drop me or Ed or my email a quick message, and I'll either give you a call back or Ed will, and we can certainly look into getting it for you.
Yeah.
So if you can't find it, we'll still sort it for you. Cool, should we get started? Because we are losing daylight.
Just something I wanted to say as well regarding the whole TCR rear diffuser thing. There is also an £850 price difference between doing the whole TCR Mark 7.5 rear end swap, including bumper paint, where this diffuser extension is 130 quid. So there's that as well.
I've only had it like a couple of weeks, really.
Yeah.
I've had it like 5 weeks, so I'm trying to pace myself a little bit.
Exactly.
Basically, all it is I see Ed's car out here.
We'll go have a little peek in a minute.
I see his looking 11 out of 10 because his is nearly finished. And then
never finished trend.
It just needed a bit of sauce.
Bit of sauce.
Yeah.
So yeah, just a word of warning as well. Although it's a nice day today, it is super windy. So if there is loads of wind noise, we're just trying to make do with what we've got. Do you know what I mean? Right, let's get to cracking. Happily, the wind's died down a little bit. Just for a bit of perspective, today we're working on Connie's Mk7 Golf GTI Clubsport. What we'll do is we'll do another video down the road, going around both cars in depth and going into detail about them. But today, because we're going to run out of daylight and we want to do a few bits of this, we're just going to crack on with that. So what I've done is I've already got ourselves prepared with the jack and everything like that, just to make this quick. Right, what we've got here is the tools I'm going to be using today. We've got an impact gun, we've got a wheel bar socket, locking wheel nut, the little tool thing to take the Volkswagen nut caps off, breaker bar and a torque wrench, and that's all we're going to need for as far as the spacers go. I know most of the people that will watch this have probably fitted spacers a million times themselves. This isn't going to be a how to put your spacers on, but we're just going to
give it a go. Also, I don't know if Ed introduced you, but we've got a very important team member, and this is Piper. He's usually a bit more fun than that, to be honest, but obviously he's just doing his thing.
And the first thing we want to do is just crack the wheel bolts.
So do you do one side of the
size?
Oh, no worries. So what I was going to say was, do you do one side of the car first?
Yeah. So one thing that I learnt with my car, because the rear end of a Golf is quite stiff, it's not really how you should do it, but what you can get away with doing is jacking the front of the car up and it will lift the back end up as well.
Oh, okay.
So it saves time to jack it up in 4 different places. Right, that's already in place. I'll crack the back as well while we're here.
That sounds nice. Not.
Oh yeah, there is currently some 13mm spacers on the back of this, just where we were trying a few different sizes out to see what was best. As some of you that have seen the older videos will know, I used to have a Mark 7.5 GTD that had spicy fitment, and I had 13, no I didn't, I'm lying. I had 11mm spacers on the front and 16mm on the back. That really, really good. The only difference between that and this has got the Victoria wheels, which have a very slightly greater offset, which means the wheels poke out a tiny bit more. So I wasn't sure if the same spacer size on this would be too much. There you go. So you can see the back's lifted up just as well as the front has.
That's almost how my car looks standard, with standard springs on it.
Yeah. Yup. Do you want to explain what springs we got on this?
E-Back Pro, aren't they?
Correct. This car's fitted with a set of E-Back Pro springs. We supply tons of E-Back kits because they are they are the best springs on the market for pretty much any car. I would argue the toss all day long with people, because I've experienced E-Back, H&R, DAP. Just for anyone that didn't know, you've got the E-Back Pro kit, which this car is fitted with, and the E-Back Sportline kit. The difference between the two is, generally speaking, the E-Back Pro kit is a sort of moderate drop with OEM-like rides and a nice little increase in handling, whereas the Sportline kit is a more aggressive drop.
One thing I was going to say is the pros on the Golf that I've got on at the minute, they are so, like the ride is so comfortable. It's not, you don't get in it and like feel every single thing. Because that was my one concern. When I really want to keep this like quite OEM-ish looking, and I didn't want it too low for a start, and I definitely didn't want the ride to be affected too much as well.
Now, typically, with pretty much any car that I have, I always like to fit a stud nut kit, because not only does it make fitting wheels a lot easier, and I've got 2 sets of wheels on every car because race car life, it also looks good, you know. I mean, to be fair, these nut caps are decent enough, but if you have a look at the stud and nut kit on the market,
I mean, there's no comparison really. He's got better brakes, better tyres, better things.
we do also have a couple of spare wheel nut covers, because obviously one of these is for the locking wheel nut and we're not putting a locking wheel nut back on it, but we do have a couple of spare ones, so they'll all end up with matching locking wheel nut covers, which will look nice. So this is a very low torque impact gun, so I'm not torquing the wheels up, don't at me.
What does that mean?
Well, there's a thing where like some people don't give a shit, torque their wheels up with an impact gun, which is definitely what we're not doing. We're torquing them up correctly. So yeah, that's one wheel. We'll move on to the back. Same story again, apart from on the back we're also removing a wheel spacer as well.
Do you want me to go grab it? Oh, you right.
On my back. Okay, so that's the 13mm that we are removing. This is the wheel that's going down, isn't it?
Yeah.
You wouldn't at all surprise me, is that?
How would you know?
Oh yeah.
What?
Oh yeah.
Shit.
Probably something to do with it. Well, it doesn't matter because Connie's getting a nice set of Michelin Pilot Sport 5s very soon.
We thought it might be a cracked wheel, so I was just going to say, like...
These are really prone to cracking as well.
The weird thing is, though, it's surprising how big that is, that it's not gone down more than that.
Well, the actual material is pretty deep, so it won't go down too much. This is going to look so good when it's done.
You reckon?
Do you know what, Con? I'm just looking at this.
Go on.
This is an old tyre for sure, because it's actually crazed on the outside as well. But yeah, no, the plan for this car is to get a set of Michelin Pilot Sport 5s as well, because they're a brilliant tyre. This car's never going to go on a racetrack. It's much too rare for that. I'd say it's much too rare. I would track it personally, but it's not my car.
We were speaking about this the other day, weren't we?
Yeah, but these Pirellis are what a lot of Golfs came fitted with. They also came on my GTD when I got it. Within 2 months of having that, I took it to the Nürburgring. So these got put through their paces, and they're just not a great tyre. They're fine in the dry, they're pretty rubbish in the wet, and they overheat really quick if you put it on track. So 10 out of 10, personally would not recommend.
What have you got on yours, Ed?
I have Goodyear Eagle F1 Super Sports, which are the bollocks. They are such a good tyre.
Okay, what made you go for them over Pilot Sport?
I can explain that perfectly. So, when I first bought the Pro Tracks, the plan of action was to have one set of wheels and a dual tyre. I got a bit of advice from a few people, one of which is Clayton with the Red Lupo GTI that we did all the airbox testing with, and who I've been Nürburgring with, and very trustworthy guy if you want any advice to do with doing track days. and he also has the best Volkswagen Lupo on the planet. So shout out to you. But yeah, I think one of his mates had a set of the Super Sports fitted, and he did a track day or a Nürburgring trip or something. Said they genuinely hacked a track day, and they're brilliant on the road as well. And it's very difficult to get a tyre that genuinely does everything well. But I can happily say my first ever track day in the Golf was at Donington, and on those tyres, and it was unreal. Absolutely unreal. Since then I have got another set of wheels with some AR1s, but if anyone is thinking of doing any track days or Nürburgring trips, but you want a pretty spicy tyre that's also perfectly good on the road, Goodyear Eagle F1 Super Sport. They also have the Super Sport R and Super Sport RS that are more towards like a Cut 2 kind of tyre. But yeah, they're the bollocks. Another news, mate. What are we saying? That's more like it.
Yeah, that's better.
That's way better on the front now.
Because it's a black car, it's so hard to like...
Well, get it from the side. That's where you can see. Also, the suspension's obviously going to have to settle again. Hence the arch gap. But if you look here, look at how nice and flush the wheels sit now.
Yeah.
That looks so good.
It needed like the extra, didn't it? Because before the wheels were like sat so inside.
Just a little tip as well for anyone lowering their Mk7 Golf. This is a little top tip from your boys and girls. If you try and point the camera in here to what I'm pointing to, I don't know if you're going to see, but you'll be able to see in your car anyway. Just inside here, there is a little lip that the arch liner clips onto, and there is also a screw holding that in. If you're on a lower spring, like a racing line or a sport line or even coilovers, if you unscrew the screw that's there, and sort of, you obviously have to remove the wheel, unscrew the screw, and if you heat this little arch liner clip part up a little bit, you can actually tuck it up inside the wheel arch, and it will give you a decent bit more clearance, because this is where they tend to rub on, if they do rub at all, is this bulgy bit here, and that will cure it. You're welcome.
Thanks, Ed.
Right, I'll tell you what, we're going to talk wheels first.
What does that mean?
Good question, because not everyone will know this, although most people will. So when your wheel bolts are done up properly, there is a factory torque spec of how tight the wheel bolt is done up in the hub. It's very, very important to torque your wheels up properly. So if you over tighten them, you can stretch the thread and they'll come loose. If you under tighten them, they'll come loose. It's also important, whether it's a stud and nut kit or just extended wheel bolts, find out what the manufacturer of the individual product recommends, because it will not always be the same as the car. Although in this particular circumstance, with this brand of extended wheel bolt and the Racing Line stud and nut kit, we are talking them to factory spec. I just need to remember what that is.
Don't watch the crane in the background.
Yeah, it's authentic here. It's probably HP. I want to say, I'm going to fact check myself on this later on, and if I get it wrong, just know that after the video I've checked, and if I needed to correct them, I've corrected them. So she's not driving around on untorqued wheel bolts. But I'm going to say it was 90 foot-pound for the Volkswagens, and it will vary on car as well. So if you go, oh, my Vauxhall Astra is different, or my fucking Peugeot 106 is different, it's a different car, that's why.
So when it clicks, that's when you know it's to factory recommendation.
Yeah, what you also want to try and do is do it in one straight motion, but as you can see, these are not very tight, even doing them up with the impact gun, which is why I said the impact gun is not high torque impact gun. As you can see, we've still got a lot to move before we're reaching where we want to be. Cool. Double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to do the same on the back. We'll come back to you when we've got all the spaces fitted, because you've already seen it and you don't want to see it again, so we'll be back with you in a minute. And just like that, guys, she is all done and looking very, very good indeed. Let's give you a little shot from the back there. Looking hella chunky. You can see the side there, that is sitting so much better. Something I should have mentioned earlier is that Connie's car is actually fitted with our Mk7 Golf fitment package, as we like to call it. And what it essentially is a choice of springs. We've either got the eBack Pro kit or the Racing Line kit, which is very popular and a very good kit as well. And a choice of spacer sizes to make it easy for people that want to just get a nice little fitment on the go, like this car. Nothing crazy, it's not slammed on the floor. We haven't got some next level poke out the side. It just rides perfect, handles brilliant. Looks fantastic, and there's a little saving on top as well. If you do want your Mk7 or Mk8 for that matter to end up looking like this, or I say Golfs, but this will apply to most cars, you know, S3s, Cupras, anything like that, then give us a shout and we'll hook you up. Like I mentioned earlier, we're only using products that we've tried and tested ourselves. I've had the Racing Line kit on a previous Golf. We've got the eBack kit on this Golf. We're using Forge wheel spaces, high quality extended wheel bolts, you know, so it's a very, very good package to get your car sitting much, much better. But yeah, that's looking brilliant. So what we're going to do now that we've got the spaces done is we're going to head back inside and we're going to get the Maxton diffuser extension ready to fit on the back of this car. Diffuser time. So the way that this diffuser extension fits on wasn't especially clear, because I don't know, I assumed it would clip on or something, but it's a learning curve, as it is always with Maxton products from experience, but we move. The kit came with some self-tapping screws. We've got no holes or anything like that, but I think what we're going to do for a little bit of extra safety is we've got some 3M extra strong double-sided tape, which, see which we're going to just line on this inside edge that goes all the way around, and that sort of hooks over the top of the standard diffuser. And then we're going to come underneath with the screws and stick some screws in all along here. And I think the way it's designed to work is obviously because this top edge kind of slots on, that holds it in place, and then it kind of pins on with the screws underneath. We're going to figure it out together as we go along. So we've got that, we've got the double-sided tape. We've also just got some tar and glue remover just to like really decontaminate the surfaces as much as possible prior to sticking it on. So we've got to get a nice good adhesive layer. We don't want this fantastic piece of engineering falling down the road. That would be an absolute disaster. So what I think we'll do, we might time, should we give a time lapse a go?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, alright. We've got a tripod. We'll give it a go. So we'll set you up and you can watch the really interesting and educational experience of putting a bit of double-sided tape on a bit of plastic and sticking it to a car. See ya! Right, I don't know how much of that you could see, but we've now got a nice layer of tape along the inside of here. We're just going to take outside and slide over the standard diffuser just to make sure it still actually fits, because it is a pretty snug fit as it is. I still need to clear this up before we put it on, but I did clean it yesterday or the day before, so it's not very dirty. Yeah, nice. That's going to work. So if we just stand back just to get an idea of what it's going to look like, you can see, I don't know how good the lighting is, but you can see there, just gives the back a bit more grief, a bit more sauce. When the Scorpion system's here with the beefy exhaust tips, that will really finish it off. But yeah, that was pretty good. Right, I think what we'll do is we'll clean the diffuser up and then get the sticky stuff ready to come off. And then once we've got it stuck on the diffuser, we'll then drill the holes and put the screws in the bottom. I'll need to jack the car back up again as well to do that, but yeah. Right, The area's all nice and clean now, ready to go. Got the car jacked back up, so we're gonna give it a crack. See if we can get this diffuser on. Just gonna prop it up there, because we're gonna need our hands. Cool.
I have to go and boom boom. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Who's gone? Who's gone? Gata gata mata hoetero motherfucker. Ai teni dekinai. Ay ay mayo ele goshitsuji takusan many money. Sole demo kollizu ni tsunanuku beki kane hondara get money. Okimochi teido de. I got music, keep on moving. Dang, dang, 見えないゲーム Day by day, yeah, yeah 楽しいこと yeah それだけじゃねえ足りないんだね
She's there. That is not going anywhere, mate. That's what we call proper job. As proper
As
of a
proper
job
as it can be.
Yeah, I was about to say. Oh, let me
Put her down.
Where's the cat? Don't know about you guys, but a car never looks better than when it's on the move. So I just said to Con, just pull it forward, park it next to the Mk7 so we can have a little side-by-side comparison. What a good looking car. What a good looking car. Yeah dude, that looks sick. So much better with that extra bit of detail in the middle. Because it's still not, I've got like a real thing about Golfs with just Maxton stuff, like lips and extensions and like all the shit you can throw at it. I'm also being a complete hypocrite because mine also has a couple of Maxton bits on it. But the name of the game here is OEM Plus. You can't beat it. I think we've done a fairly good job here of getting a couple of very OEM Plus looking motors. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah, that is wicked. Very, very good indeed. The old Mk7 is slacking big time in the gloss black diffuser department, but we've got plans for that, so stay tuned. But yeah, that looks wicked. That looks so good. What do you reckon? I'm gonna be a stereotypical person on YouTube and go, put in the comments of what you think about what we've done today. Like,
It looks fucking shite.
what do you want? What do you want, hey? Yeah, man, that looks sick. What do you reckon, Con? Such a busybody, aren't you? You just want to be in the video. Hey? Anything for a bit of attention.
Yeah, I think
that looks so good, doesn't it?
yeah. I do know that the TCR and the 7.5 would look better, but for now, especially when we get the exhaust on it with the Ascari tips, I think that'll look,
Yeah.
the dog's bollocks.
Yeah.
For now, anyway.
Like I said, I'd always go for an OEM part over a aftermarket stick-on bit if you can,
Oh, yeah,
but
sure.
that cost 130 quid, and the TCR option, including the diffuser, the rear bumper, the paint, the fitting, I think it was £1,000 I added up.
It was easily getting on.
And that's like trade as well. Like, we're not paying full whack for that either. Do you know what I mean? So this will do for now, won't it?
Yeah, well, the reason why we've gone for the cheaper option for now is because I think it's all well and good having your car looking nice, but at the minute it really doesn't drive very nice, if I'm being honest. Like, the alignment's out, needs better brakes, tyres for sure. I think it's all well and good having a car that looks nice, but it's obviously nice to drive, but she's a bit scatty, like she needs.
We don't do scatty driving cars around here. Everything drives very good. Con touched on future plans. So the Scorpion exhaust is on the way for this car, which will be sweet. Tyres, we'll get it booked in at Spires for a proper spicy alignment, because every single car gets the Spires tuning treatment. If you don't know, get to know. Spires tuning is in the Midlands, in Leamington Spa. He's set up every single car that I have, bar the Peugeot, because the Peugeot's not quite done yet, but he's done the Golf many times, done the Astra many times, did my last Golf as well. normally if a customer of ours that we're supplying suspension to is looking for, I'll stand this way so you can see them, looking for an alignment, fitting, setup and everything like that, normally what we do is we'd recommend taking the car, booking it in with Spires, and then we can just either drop off or send your suspension direct there, and then you just get it all done one day. And I can categorically say over probably any other single mod that I've ever done to any car, proper setup at Spires has made more of a difference than anything else, honestly. And until you've had a proper motorsport alignment on your car, you know, corner weight and everything, obviously we can't corner weight springs, but you know, coilovers, it is, you wouldn't believe the difference. I'm not exaggerating, it's that good. So this is definitely going to get that treatment at some point. But yeah, that's about it for now. We've done a video. We've made it through to the end.
Because I want your guys' opinion on this, because I'm really 50-50. I think on Ed's it looks decent. Would you keep, do you know what I'm going to say?
I'm gonna guess and say, would you keep the badge chrome? Oh,
yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, good point. Would you keep the badge chrome or would you go black?
What do you guys think? Do you think go, black on black, or do you reckon keep the chrome? So let us know what you guys think in the comment section.
Yes, sir. Right, we'll wrap it up there. So thank you, if you've made it this far into the video, thank you for sticking through it. Hopefully it was bearable at best. Like I said at the start of the video, we're gonna just try to not focus on, you know, the little intricacies to begin with, because otherwise we'll never put a video up. Just gonna try and film some stuff like this.
We'll also start to get out a little bit more as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. So obviously
it won't always be based here.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I mean, obviously this place gets the job done. There's a lot of like really serious stuff that actually goes on here behind the scenes, but this place isn't exactly the best for filming nice videos, so we'll definitely get out and about. We've got loads of cool little locations where we've been before for drives and taking pictures and stuff like that anyway. Yeah, this is not just going to be like a hardcore like car thing either, is it? We spoke
about this, yeah, because one thing Ed and me wanted to like do with you guys is like come like and experience days with me and Ed, and as you can probably tell from both of us, we're like really into food, and I want to like
what are you trying to say?
Well,
yeah, no, she's right, yeah,
we both look
I'm a thick ass boy.
So like one thing we love doing is one of our favourite two things is getting food and taking the cars. So we'll definitely be like bringing you guys along, showing us some of the really cool food places near here as well, and shouting them out because they're so good. Yeah,
we got taste as well, like it's not even dead food either, it's like, and
we're like the least fussy people when it comes to food. So again, any recommendations for us,
and we'll bring the gang along with us, like all the, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We'll bring
lunch
all the
breaks,
gang.
coffee breaks. Yeah,
for sure. So yeah, we've got all this to come. I've already started writing down video ideas, like getting more into the actual car side of stuff. Like I'm sure a lot of people would want to know what a 450 horsepower Mark 8 GTI Clubsport is like to drive. Can you daily a Mark 8 GTI Clubsport with 450 brake? Is it a good family car? What's this like compared to this? So many questions and so many answers that we will all cover in a video. We will cover all of them in videos. Yeah. There we go. Thank you for watching for now, and we'll catch you in the next one. See ya.
I have to go and boom boom. Let's go.